Hi there. This video today is about letting your child understand that they're autistic. It has come to my attention, and surprisingly, um, I'm quite confused about this. But obviously, it's not something I've been through, so there is no judgment whatsoever from me. There very rarely is. I tend to be quite understanding. So a lot of people have contacted me, and I've read a lot of comments, a lot of posts, a lot of articles about whether or not you should tell your child, or what age you should tell your child that they are autistic. Now, for me, I didn't know I was autistic until I was 32. I have had just the worst time of it. If I look back at all the times that being autistic was a negative thing, because I didn't understand myself, because I always felt out of place, because I always felt that I was different, but I didn't know why I was different. It was, well, it was depressing. I mean, it literally depressed me. I was so desperate to fit in, and when I didn't, I was even more desperate to understand why I didn't. You know, when it comes to an inquisitive brain such as mine, and such a lot of autistic people, we always want to know things. We always want to find out things. We're always very interested in things. That's why we always seem to know facts about things, and we want to tell people facts about things, because our brains are so brilliantly wired that we can always want to find out the detail of every little thing that we find interesting, and we find ourselves to be very interesting, and we definitely find the world around us to be very interesting, but also very scary and confusing. And if we understand ourselves better, then we can understand where we fit in to that world, and it becomes a lot less scary and a lot less confusing. So for me, I wish I'd always known. I would have come to the place I am now a lot quicker. And the place I'm now is very, very positive, happy, accepting place. You know, I'm sure you all know I'm very proud to be autistic. And, you know, unfortunately, I have noticed that sometimes annoys people. Sometimes it I almost feel that sometimes it actually angers people how positive I am. And I'm not going to apologize for being happy that I'm autistic. I just think that one day I hope that you'll get to where I am too. But for me, the sooner somebody knows they're autistic, the better. Because once again, I keep having to explain this, and I honestly don't actually care whether or not you think this or not. It really doesn't bother me that you think this or not. I'm telling you that being autistic is great, and that you can do, given support and love and understanding, amazing things. No matter where you're on the spectrum, there is a way of finding the autistic person's abilities and focusing on those abilities, and then just helping them with the disabilities. So don't be angry and don't focus on the negatives. Otherwise you'll miss your child's superpower. You won't find it. You'll spend so long worrying about your child, trying to get them the help they need, battling a system that is just abysmal, in my opinion. The system in this country for helping autistic people is just crap. I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. It's crap, and I would change so many things. It's hard enough being autistic and having people in your lives that are autistic. The world is hard enough without bureaucrats and red tape and all that nonsense. But don't forget to spend time with your child. Don't forget to help and focus, because it really is, at the end of the day, it's going to be down to you as a parent to help your child. And I don't mean help them get help. I mean help them find their superpower, because it is within every autistic person. There is an ability, whether you are low on the spectrum, you don't know, you don't even know your surroundings, you can't look after yourself. Within that brain, there is definitely going to be an ability. Now, it might be so hard to find it, and I don't ever think that it's an easy task. My life has not been easy. My life has just been so hard. I went from job to job to job, and I got abused by my own mother. She used to hit me and beat me and smack me. She kicked me out when I was 17. I was on my own when I was 17, and I was autistic and lonely and sad and bullied, and I was misunderstood and I was mistreated, and I literally had the worst time. I've had such a terrible time, but I got through it because my wife always looked for the good in me. My wife was there for me. She supported, she loved me, she took care of me, and she always looked for the good in me. And now I'm thriving. I'm 37. It has literally taken me 36 years to get to where I am. And that's with the love and support of my wife. But I was still smashed to pieces by so-called friends and so-called, colleagues and not in my current job. They're amazing. But, in the past, it has been a rough journey. It has not been easy. But I got there, and this is why I'm doing this. I'm talking to you. I'm saying, look, you can get there. It just takes time. Now, you have to be patient. But I'm telling you, in your child, no matter where on the spectrum they are, there is an ability. So don't always focus on the things they can't do, the things that you don't like, and focus on all there could be a number of things they're really, really amazing at, or it could literally just be one thing. I mean, you could literally have an autistic person trapped in this autistic world that I get lost in it. And people are like, Joe, and I'm like, because I'm lost. I'm gone. I'm in my own little world, So imagine that, but just all the time. So I've been to that little world that I get lost in, and I can't even imagine being there all the time. But then again, you definitely can't imagine it. At least I've been there, so I can tell you that it's easy to get lost. And those young people, or those older people, those people low on the spectrum, they're lost. But I guarantee you, they're in there. They're in there, and they have an ability, and you have to find it. They could like decode like the most amazing codes around the world. They if you sort of got them on video games, they could literally be an gaming star, an esports star. Which, by the way, esports stars. This is people who play video games for a living, earn a lot of money, like a lot of money. So never ever be worried that your kid's playing too much computer, because literally it's like they're playing too much football or they're playing too much cricket. They're literally training themselves. And I believe that autistic people could end up being the future sports stars. And we could literally be like the next Pelés and Michael Jordans, and Tiger Woodses, but of esports. I truly, truly believe that. But we need love and support and understanding and acceptance. So don't hesitate to tell your child they're autistic. Just when you do, always focus on the positives. You can swallow those negatives. We are parents. We have to swallow that pill, but your child does not have to swallow that pill. They can just be happy they're autistic. So there is no age. It's as early as you possibly can, as possible that they can understand it. Remember, we do grow at different rates, so 5, 6. But the longer you leave it, the more it hurts us, because the less we understand it and the less we understand ourselves. Thank you.